The research station called Cheonsa floated in the darkness of space like a giant metal flower. Its silver arms stretched out in all directions, spinning slowly around a massive center hub. Inside those arms, humanity kept its most dangerous secrets. Creatures from distant worlds lived in special cages. Scientists studied them. Security guards watched them, and everyone feared them. But nothing scared the station crew more than the thing in the lowest level. Deep in the belly of Cheonsa, behind walls made of the strongest metal humans could create, something ancient waited in the dark. Commander Daeho stood in the control room, looking at screens that showed every corner of his station. He was 57 years old with gray hair and tired eyes. 20 years in space had given him a face like stone. Nothing surprised him anymore. Nothing scared him, or so he told himself. His hand touched the button that controlled the cameras for level 9, the deepest level, the forbidden level. On the screen, a shape moved in the darkness. Scales caught the dim light. Something massive shifted its weight. A low sound filled the speakers like thunder rolling across a dead planet. "Still not eating," said Mirai, the station engineer. She stood beside the commander, checking her tablet. Mirai was 43 and had kept Cheonsa running for 8 years. She knew every pipe, every wire, every secret the station held. "That's 5 days now. The thing's going to die soon." Daeho nodded slowly. "Good, one less problem to worry about. The council won't be happy. They wanted us to destroy it properly, with witnesses. Let nature do the work instead." Daeho turned away from the screen. "I'm not wasting resources on something that's already dying." The creature on level 9 had a name in the station files, Specimen X7, but the guards who had to go near its cage called it the Devourer. It had come to Cheonsa 6 months ago in chains made of light. A dozen ships had carried it through space, all of them keeping their weapons pointed at the cage. The creature had destroyed 3 human colonies before they caught it. Thousands of people had died. The galaxy wanted blood, but Dr. Hana had other ideas. She worked in the xenobiology lab on level 3, far above the creature's cage. At 34, Hana still believed science could solve any problem. She studied alien life forms, trying to understand what made them tick. While others saw monsters, she saw puzzles waiting to be solved. Her lab was organized chaos. Screens showed genetic codes. Samples sat in cold storage. Notes covered every surface. And on the largest screen, video footage played on repeat. The same scene over and over again. A human colony on a distant world. Buildings on fire. And in the sky, a massive shape with wings, there. Hana whispered to herself. She paused the video, zoomed in, enhanced the image. "You see it too, don't you?" A young security officer named Jinwoo stood in the doorway watching her. He was 22, fresh from training, still eager to prove himself. Daeho had assigned him to watch Dr. Hana. The commander worried she was getting too attached to the creature downstairs. "See what?" Jinwoo asked. Hana jumped, startled. She hadn't heard him come in. "Oh, you scared me. Sorry. Commander wants me to check on you." "Check on me? I'm fine." Hana turned back to her screen. "But this creature isn't fine. Nobody's even trying to understand it." Jinwoo moved closer, looking at the frozen image. The creature filled the sky, its wings spread wide. But something about the picture didn't match the stories. The thing wasn't attacking. It was hovering, almost like it was protecting something. "The reports say it killed 3,000 people," Jinwoo said. "The reports say a lot of things." Hana pulled up another video. This one showed a different colony. "Look at this. This is from the first attack. Notice anything strange?" Jinwoo watched carefully. The creature appeared in the sky. People ran. Ships fired weapons at it. And then the creature responded. Fire and destruction followed. But Hana was right. Something seemed wrong with the timeline. "The ships fired first," Jinwoo said slowly. "Exactly." Hana's eyes lit up. "Every single time. Every attack. Humans shot first. The creature only defended itself. That doesn't change the fact that it killed thousands." "No. But it changes why." Hana closed the video files. "I need to see it. The real thing. Not just camera footage. Absolutely not. Level 9 is restricted. Even I can't go down there without special permission." Hana smiled. "Then get permission." On level 9, the creature called X7 lay in darkness. Its cage was 50 meters wide and 30 meters tall. Energy fields hummed at the walls, ready to shock anything that touched them. Cameras watched from every angle. guns pointed inward from hidden turrets. If the creature tried to escape, machines would kill it in seconds. But the creature wasn't trying to escape. It simply lay there, breathing slowly. Its scales had once been beautiful, people said. Now they were dull and cracked. Scars covered its body from countless battles. One eye was milky white, blind from an old wound. Its wings were torn in places, healed badly over time. The galaxy had called it a monster, a killer, a thing that needed to be destroyed. But as it lay in the dark, the creature's good eye stared at the ceiling. And if anyone had been watching closely, if anyone had cared to look, they might have seen something unexpected in that ancient eye. Not hunger, not rage, not the madness of a beast, just deep, endless sadness. Salmon, the communications officer, sat at her desk on level 2. She was 27 and handled all messages coming in and out of the station. Today, like every day this week, messages from the council filled her screen. Demands, threats, ultimatums. Destroy the creature immediately, one message read. The Council of Harmonious Worlds will not tolerate further delays. Salmon forwarded the message to Commander Deho. Then she pulled up older messages, ones from before the creature arrived. She had a habit of digging through old files looking for patterns. Something about this whole situation didn't sit right with her. She found a message from 6 months ago, sent from the Council, marked urgent, but strange. It wasn't asking Cheonsa to hold the creature. It was telling them, no discussion, no options. Weird, Salmon muttered. She dug deeper, using security codes she probably shouldn't have had. Another message appeared. This one was encrypted, but she knew how to break basic encryption. The text made her sit up straight. Mining rights secured. Proceed with plan. Guardian removal essential for Phase 2. Guardian? Mining rights? What did any of that have to do with a dangerous creature? Salmon copied the files onto a personal drive. She didn't know what this meant yet, but her instincts screamed that something was very wrong. Back in her lab, Dr. Hana made a decision. She touched her communication badge. Hana to Deho. The commander's voice came through, annoyed. What is it, Doctor? I'm formally requesting access to Level 9. I need to examine Specimen X7 directly. Silence. Then request denied? Sir, the creature is dying. This is our last chance to understand it, to learn from it. It's a killer, Doctor. Let it die. With respect, Commander, we don't know that for certain. Please, just one examination. More silence. Hana held her breath. Finally, Deho spoke again. You have 2 hours. Jinwoo will escort you. You stay behind the energy barrier at all times. Touch nothing. If that thing so much as twitches wrong, you come back up immediately. Understood? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Hana grabbed her equipment. Her hands shook slightly. Fear mixed with excitement. She was going to meet the galaxy's most hated creature face to face. She just hoped they were both still alive when it was over. Jinwoo met her at the elevator to Level 9. He carried a weapon, though both of them knew it would be useless if the creature decided to attack. The elevator descended slowly. The numbers on the panel counted down, 7, 8, 9. The doors opened onto darkness. Emergency lights cast red shadows across metal walls. The air smelled strange down here, old, heavy, like something from another time. This way, Jinwoo said quietly. His hand stayed near his weapon. They walked down a corridor. At the end, a massive door waited. Beyond it, the cage. Beyond that, the creature. Hana touched the door control. Metal scraped as the barrier opened, and there, in the dim red light, the creature raised its head and looked directly at her with its one good eye. Neither of them moved. Doctor and Dragon, human and alien, separated by energy and fear and 6 months of assumptions. Then Hana did something that made Jinwoo's blood run cold. She smiled. Hello, she said softly. I'm here to help you. The creature stared at Dr. Hana through the energy barrier. Its single good eye was enormous, like looking into a dark pool that went down forever. Hana had seen many alien species during her years on Cheonsa. She had studied their eyes, their behavior patterns, their ways of thinking. But nothing prepared her for this moment. The creature wasn't looking at her like prey. It was looking at her like it understood something she didn't. Doctor, Jinwoo whispered behind her. Maybe we should keep our distance. Hana ignored him. She moved closer to the energy field, stopping just before the humming barrier. Her scanner was in her hand, reading biological data. Numbers filled the small screen. Heart rate, brain activity, chemical signatures. All wrong, all strange. You're not eating, Hana said, speaking to the creature as if it could understand. 5 days now. Why, are you sick? Or is something else wrong? The creature's eye blinked slowly. Then it lowered its massive head back to the ground. A sound came from deep in its throat, not quite a growl. More like a sigh. Jinwoo shifted nervously. It's been doing that for days. The guards think it's dying. Maybe. Hana studied her scanner readings. But these brain patterns, they're complex. More complex than any animal we've ever studied. Look at this. She showed the screen to Jinwoo. This section here? That's problem-solving activity. And this, memory processing? Deep memory. This creature is thinking about something, remembering what? I don't know. But I'm going to find out. Hana spent the next hour taking readings from every angle. She recorded the creature's sounds. She analyzed the air in the cage. She even managed to collect a scale that had fallen near the barrier. Through it all, the creature watched her with that one eye. Patient, waiting. When their 2 hours were up, Jinwoo insisted they leave. Commander's orders, Doctor. Time's up? Hana wanted to argue but nodded. As they turned to go, something happened. The creature made a new sound. Not a growl or a sigh. Something almost musical. 3 notes repeated twice. Hana spun around. The creature had lifted its head again. It was looking right at her. Did you hear that? She asked Jinwoo. Yeah, so what? That wasn't random. That was deliberate. It was trying to communicate. Back in her lab, Hana couldn't sleep. She worked through the night, analyzing every piece of data she'd collected. The scale showed genetic markers that made no sense. The creature's DNA was old, ancient, but it had been modified somehow. Changed. Designed. Designed, Hana whispered to her empty lab. Someone made you. But who and why? She pulled up galactic databases, searching for any reference to creatures like X7. Most files simply called them void dragons or star beasts, dangerous predators from the dark spaces between solar systems. But one file was different. It was old, written in a language humans had only recently learned to translate. The text was fragmentary, damaged by time, created to guard. Seal the ancient, protect against the endless. The rest was corrupted, but it was enough. Hana's hand shook as she copied the file. Guard, seal, protect. Those weren't words you used to describe a monster. Those were words you used for a defender. Her computer beeped. A message from Soman, the communications officer. Dr. Hana, need to show you something private. Come to my office. Hana arrived to find Soman looking worried. The young woman closed the door and locked it before speaking. I found something strange. Encrypted messages. From before X7 arrived, she showed Hana the files, the mining rights, the talk of Guardian removal, plans that went back months, maybe years. All of it pointing to the same thing. The Council hadn't captured X7 to protect people. They had captured it to get it out of the way. Out of the way of what? Hana asked. That's what I can't figure out. But look at this. Soman pulled up a star map. 3 red dots marked locations in space. These are the colony sites X7 supposedly attacked. Notice anything? Hana studied the map. The 3 sites formed a line. A perfectly straight line through space. That's not random. No. And look what else they have in common. Soman typed commands into her computer. Images appeared. All 3 colonies had been built on top of old ruins. Ancient structures buried underground. The colonists found these ruins while digging foundations. They reported strange energy readings. Then X7 showed up. Hana felt her heart racing. The creature wasn't attacking the colonies. It was trying to stop them from digging up the ruins, but why? What's down there? I don't know, but I need to find out. The next day, Hana did something dangerous. She requested permission to use the neural interface device. It was experimental technology, designed to translate alien brain patterns into images humans could understand. It had only been tested a few times and never on something as large as X7. Commander Daeho called her to his office. You want to do what? Connect with it directly, mind to mind. That's insane. The neural interface could kill you. Or it could kill the creature. Yes, I know the risks. Hana stood firm. But we're running out of time. The Council wants it dead. You want it dead? In a few days, this creature will die anyway from starvation. This is our last chance to understand what we're really dealing with. Daeho leaned back in his chair. He looked old suddenly, tired in a way that went deeper than just lack of sleep. Why do you care so much about this thing? Because I'm a scientist. Because understanding is better than fear. Because, Hana paused. Because what if we're wrong? What if we've been wrong this whole time? The commander was silent for a long moment. Finally, he nodded. You get one attempt. One. If anything goes wrong, I'm pulling you out and terminating the creature immediately. Clear? Crystal clear, sir. 2 hours later, Hana stood in the creature's chamber again. But this time, Jinwoo wasn't her only escort. Mirai the engineer had come down to help set up the neural interface equipment. The device looked like a helmet covered in wires and sensors. It would read Hana's brainwaves and translate them, then try to sync with the creature's neural patterns. This is crazy, Mirai muttered as she calibrated the device. You know that, right? Completely crazy, Hana agreed. She put on the helmet. But when has science ever been safe? Science usually doesn't involve massive alien creatures that could eat you. Good point. The creature watched them work. It hadn't moved much, conserving its energy. But its eye tracked every motion. When Hana approached the barrier with the neural interface active, the creature lifted its head. Okay, Mirai said from the control panel, starting at 10% power. Establishing connection in 3, 2, 1. Pain exploded through Hana's skull. White light, burning, screaming. She fell to her knees, clawing at the helmet. Somewhere far away, she heard Jinwoo shouting. The creature was roaring in agony too, thrashing against the cage walls. Shut it down, Jinwoo yelled. The connection broke. Hana collapsed on the floor, gasping. Her head felt like it was splitting open. Through blurred vision, she saw the creature was also in pain, shaking its massive head. I'm sorry, Hana whispered. I'm so sorry. Mirai helped her sit up. That's it. We're done. This was a bad idea. No. Hana pulled the helmet back on, despite Mirai's protests. Again, but different. The frequency was wrong. We need to adjust it. Doctor, you almost died. The creature almost died too, which means we were close. Hana's hands moved over the controls. I know what I'm doing. Trust me. She didn't know if she trusted herself, but something in the creature's eye told her to keep trying. It had endured the pain. It hadn't tried to attack even when in agony. It wanted this connection as much as she did. Adjusting neural frequency, Hana said. Trying harmonic 17. Mirai shook her head but input the new settings. If this kills you, I'm telling the commander it was your idea. Deal. The connection started again. This time slower, gentler. The pain was still there, but manageable. Hana felt something brushing against her thoughts. Foreign, ancient, vast. And then the visions began. She saw a world she didn't recognize. Towers of crystal reaching toward purple skies. Beings of light moving through streets made of living metal. Beauty beyond words. And in the sky above this world, creatures flew. Massive. Graceful. Dragons with scales that shone like stars. The vision shifted. The beautiful world was under attack. Darkness poured through tears in space. Not just darkness, absence, things that weren't things. Creatures made of emptiness that consumed everything they touched. The beings of light fought back, but their weapons were useless. Everything the darkness touched simply stopped existing. Then the dragons descended. They fought the darkness with light and sound and pure will. One by one, the tears in space were sealed. But the cost was terrible. The dragons aged with each battle. Their scales grew dull. Their bodies scarred. Beauty sacrificed for survival. The vision shifted again. Forward in time. The beings of light were gone. The crystal city was ruins, but the seals held, and the dragons remained, still guarding, still protecting. Across millions of years they watched over the prisons that held back the darkness. Hana saw colony ships arriving. Humans, her people, digging, building, unknowingly weakening the ancient seals, and the dragons trying desperately to stop them, not out of hunger. Not out of rage, out of duty. Out of purpose, the vision ended. Hana pulled off the helmet, tears streaming down her face. The creature was watching her. And now she understood what she saw in that ancient eye. Hana stood before Commander Dae-ho and the senior staff, her hands still shaking from the neural connection. On the large screen behind her, she had projected images captured from the vision. Ruined cities, ancient beings, the darkness that hungered, and the dragons that stood against it. You're saying this creature is a guard? Dae-ho's voice was flat, skeptical. That it's protecting us from something? Not just protecting. It's been protecting the galaxy for millions of years. Hana advanced to the next image. These seals that the ancient civilization created, they're all over the galaxy. The 3 colonies it supposedly attacked, they were all built on top of these seals. When humans started digging deep, breaking through ancient rock, we weakened the containment. X7 was trying to stop us before we released something terrible. This is speculation based on visions, said Deho, not evidence. The genetic markers support it. Mireille spoke up from the back of the room. The engineer had been quiet until now, but she'd spent the last few hours analyzing Hana's data. I checked the energy readings from all 3 colony sites. There's something down there, something that doesn't match any known power source. Whatever these seals are holding, it's real. Jinwoo raised his hand nervously. I saw the creature's reaction during the neural link. It wasn't aggressive. It was desperate. Like it was trying to show Dr. Hana something important. Deho rubbed his temples. He looked at each of his staff members, then back at Hana. Let's say I believe you. Let's say this creature really is some kind of ancient protector. What do you want me to do about it? The Council has given us 72 hours to destroy it. They're sending a fleet to make sure we comply. We need more time to prove the truth. We need to... An alarm cut through Hana's words. Red lights flashed throughout the conference room. Salmon's voice came over the speakers, urgent and afraid. Commander, we're receiving emergency signals from the Tau Ceti mining colony. Something's happened. Something bad. Everyone rushed to the main control center. Salmon pulled up the transmission. Static filled most of it, but what came through made Hana's blood turn cold. Breakthrough. Can't stop it. Consuming everything. People are just gone. Not dead, just gone. Oh God, it's coming through the... The signal ended. Silence filled the control room. Get me a visual on Tau Ceti, Deho ordered. The main screen changed. It showed space near the Tau Ceti system. But something was wrong. Where a mining colony should have been, where 4 million people lived and worked, there was only darkness. Not empty space. Not the normal black of the void. This was different, darker, wronger. Like a wound in reality itself. What am I looking at? Deho asked. Hana felt sick. She knew exactly what they were seeing. It's what the Guardians have been sealing away. The darkness from the visions. Somehow it broke through. That's impossible. The colony only started mining operations 2 months ago. How could... Because it's getting stronger, Hana interrupted. The seals are old. Failing. When we captured X7, we removed one of the Guardians from its post. Now there's nothing stopping the breakthrough. Mireille pulled up more data. I'm detecting 17 Galactic Council ships heading toward Tau Ceti. They're preparing to engage whatever that thing is. Pull up their tactical feeds, said Deho. The screen split. Now they could see what the Council ships saw. The darkness had formed now, spreading like oil across space, and it was moving, growing. Ships fired every weapon they had. Energy beams, missiles, kinetic rounds. Everything just disappeared when it touched the darkness. No explosions. No resistance. Just gone. One by one, the Council ships went silent. The darkness swallowed them whole. 4 million people, Jinwoo whispered. Just gone. Hana turned to Deho. Now do you believe me? That thing is exactly what the creature tried to warn us about. It's what the Guardians were created to fight. The commander stared at the screen. His face had gone pale. Even if you're right, what can we do? One creature against that? We have to try. It's the only chance anyone has. Before Deho could respond, Soman spoke up again. Sir, incoming transmission from Ambassador Vec, the Council Fleet Commander. Put him through. The screen changed. An alien face appeared. Ambassador Vec was Centaurian, with blue-gray skin and 4 eyes that never blinked at the same time. He looked angry, frightened. Commander Deho, you will transfer custody of Specimen X7 immediately. We are taking direct control of your station. On what grounds? Deho demanded. On the grounds that you have failed your duty. That creature should have been destroyed weeks ago. Instead, you've been running experiments. Now look what's happened. Tau Ceti is gone. 4 million lives. The Council holds you personally responsible. Ambassador, with respect, destroying the creature won't solve anything. In fact, it might make things worse. We have evidence that... I don't care about your evidence. You have 2 hours to prepare for our arrival. Any resistance will be met with force. Vec out. The transmission ended. The control room erupted in voices. Everyone talking at once, arguing. Some agreed with the ambassador. Some sided with Hana. The noise grew louder and louder until Deho slammed his fist on the console. Enough! Silence fell. The commander looked at each person in turn. I need to think. Everyone back to your stations. Dr. Hana, Mirai, Jinwoo, Soman. My office now. The 5 of them gathered in the commander's private office. Daeho locked the door behind them. For a long moment he just stood there staring out the window at the stars. Commander, Hana said gently. I've been in space for 20 years, Daeho said quietly. I've seen things that would break most people, but I've never seen anything like what just happened at Tau Ceti. 4 million people, gone in minutes. And if you're right, Doctor, that's just the beginning. I am right. I know I am. The problem is proof. The Council won't believe visions and theories. They need something concrete, something undeniable. Someone cleared her throat. There might be a way. I've been tracking those encrypted messages I found. The ones about mining rights and guardian removal. I managed to trace them back to their source. 3 members of the Council sent them, including Ambassador Vec. Everyone turned to look at her. Soman continued, her voice growing stronger. They knew. They knew what the Guardians were protecting. They knew about the seals. But they wanted access to the energy sources underneath. Those sources are worth trillions of credits, enough to make entire planets rich. They deliberately captured the Guardians to clear the way for mining operations. That's conspiracy at the highest level, said Mirai. If we can prove that, we can, Sumin said. I have copies of everything. But there's a problem. The moment I try to transmit this data off-station, the Council will know. They'll shut us down, maybe even destroy Cheonsa to keep it quiet. Daeho was silent for a long moment. Then he smiled. It was a tired smile, but real. You know what? I've always hated politics. Always hated the way the Council operates. Rules for everyone else, but not for them. He looked at his team. If I do what I'm thinking of doing, all of our careers are over. Maybe worse. Are you all prepared for that? What are you thinking? Jinwoo asked. I'm thinking we tell the Council to go to hell. We protect the creature. We broadcast Soman's evidence to every news network in the galaxy. We force them to face the truth. Daeho looked at each of them. But I won't order any of you to do this. It's your choice. Anyone who wants to leave, go now. No judgment, nobody moved. Hana felt something swelling in her chest. Hope, pride. These people, her friends, were willing to risk everything to do what was right. All right then, Daeho said. We have 2 hours before the Council fleet arrives. Mirai, I need you to lock down the station. Full security protocols. Make it as difficult as possible for them to board us. Soman, prepare your evidence for broadcast. Make multiple copies. Hide them throughout the station's systems. Even if they shut us down, I want that information getting out. Jinwoo, gather any security personnel who might be willing to stand with us. Explain the situation. Let them choose. Hana, yes, sir? You're going to level 9. You're going to tell that creature we're sorry. We're sorry for everything we've done wrong. And then you're going to figure out how to help it fight back. Hana nodded, her throat tight with emotion. Thank you, Commander. Don't thank me yet. This might all blow up in our faces. As the team dispersed to their tasks, Mirai grabbed Hana's arm. Doctor, there's something else. The creature hasn't eaten because it doesn't eat food like we thought. I've been studying the energy readings from its cell. It feeds on energy. Specific frequencies, like what comes from stars, or nuclear reactors. The station's reactor, Hana said yes. But if we feed it directly from our reactor, we'll drain power from life support, environmental controls, everything. We'd be risking the lives of everyone on Cheonsa. Hana thought about. The 4 million people at Tau Ceti, gone, erased. And how many more would follow if the seals kept breaking? How long can we give it power before life support fails? 6 hours, maybe 7. Then we give it 6 hours. We help it heal. Give it strength. Hana looked Mirai in the eye. And we hope that's enough. In level 9, the creature sensed something changing. The air tasted different. The vibrations through the floor told stories of motion, of preparation, of decision. It had lived for so long, fought for so many ages, that it recognized the signs. Hana ran through the corridors of Cheonsa, heading for level 9. Behind her, the station hummed with urgent activity. Crew members rushed to their posts. Doors sealed. Security systems activated. The entire station was transforming into a fortress. She reached the elevator and descended into the darkness. When the doors opened, she found Jinwoo already there with 3 other security officers. They were setting up equipment, turning the creature's cage area into a command center. Doctor, Jinwoo said, We're ready to begin the energy transfer. But you should know, 40% of the station crew refuse to help. They think we're crazy, and the other 60%? They're with us, including most of the security teams. He gestured to the 3 officers with him. This is Kyung, Bora, and Taeyang. They volunteered. The 3 officers nodded to Hana. They looked nervous but determined. Good people willing to risk everything. Thank you, Hana said to all of them. All of you. What we're doing here might be the most important thing humanity has ever done. She approached the energy barrier. The creature was watching her again with that ancient eye. Hana placed her hand near the field, not touching it, but close enough to feel the hum of power. I know you can understand me, she said softly. I know you've been alone for so long, fighting a war that nobody appreciated. Nobody understood. We were wrong about you. We were so wrong. And I'm sorry. The creature's eye blinked slowly. Something in its expression shifted. Was it understanding? Hope? Hana couldn't be sure. We're going to help you now. We're going to give you energy from our reactor. It might not be enough. It might be too late. But we have to try. Because if you fall, we all fall. You're not alone anymore. Do you understand? You're not alone. A sound came from the creature's throat. That same 3-note sequence she'd heard before. But this time she understood what it meant. Through the neural connection, the meaning was clear. Thank you. Mirai's voice came through the speakers. Beginning energy transfer in 30 seconds. Everyone brace for power fluctuations. The lights in the chamber flickered, then dimmed. Energy flowed from the station's massive reactor, redirected through cables and conduits straight into the creature's cage. The effect was immediate. The creature's dull scales began to glow, faintly at first, then brighter. The torn wings twitched. The milky eye cleared slightly, and the sounds it made changed from exhaustion to something that almost sounded like relief. It's working, Hana breathed. Keep going. Above them, in the control center, Commander Daeho watched multiple screens at once. One showed the creature healing. Another showed approaching council ships. A third displayed power levels dropping throughout the station. They were gambling everything on a creature most of the galaxy wanted dead. Sir, said one of the control officers, the council fleet will be in weapons range in 30 minutes. How many ships? 12, 3 heavy cruisers. 9 destroyer class, an Ambassador Vex flagship. Daeho nodded. Send them a message. Tell them Cheonsa Station is under lockdown. We will not surrender the creature, and we will not allow them to board. They won't like that, sir. I'm counting on it. Salmon worked frantically at her station, preparing the evidence files. Every encrypted message, every proof of the Council's conspiracy, every piece that showed they knew about the Guardians and deliberately removed them for profit. She created dozens of copies, embedding them in different systems throughout the station. Ready to broadcast on your command, Commander, she said. Not yet. Let's see if the ambassador wants to talk first. The wait was terrible. Every minute felt like an hour. In the creature's chamber, the energy transfer continued. The dragon was growing stronger, but still weak from months of starvation. It would need more time. Time they didn't have. Finally, Ambassador Vex's face appeared on the main screen. His 4 eyes glared at Daeho with cold fury. Commander, you were given clear orders. Why is your station in lockdown? Because I don't take orders from conspirators and liars. Vex's face remained calm, but something flickered in those eyes. Explain yourself. You knew about the Guardians. You knew what they were protecting. You had them captured and imprisoned so mining companies could access the energy sources beneath the seals. How many people have died because of your greed, Ambassador? 4 million at Tau Ceti alone. You have no proof of these accusations. Actually, we have plenty of proof. Daeho smiled coldly. Every encrypted message. Every secret deal. Every piece of evidence that shows the Council's corruption. And in about 5 minutes, every news network in the galaxy is going to receive copies. Unless you turn your fleet around right now. Vex's calm facade cracked. You wouldn't dare. Watch me. Summon, send it. Belay that order. Vex shouted. Commander, if you broadcast that information, you'll cause chaos. The entire galactic government could collapse. Maybe it should. Maybe we need a new government. One that doesn't sacrifice innocent lives for profit. You're making a terrible mistake. I'm giving you one last chance. Surrender the creature and we'll forget this entire incident. You and your crew can walk away. Daeho looked around the control center, at Soman, At the officers, at everyone who had chosen to stand with him. Then he looked back at Vec. No deal. The creature stays with us. It stays protected. And if you try to take it by force, the whole galaxy will know what you did. Vec's face twisted with rage. So be it. You've signed your own death warrant. The transmission cut. Alarms blared throughout the station. The council ships were powering weapons. Attack was imminent. All hands battle stations, Deho announced over the speakers. This is not a drill. Hostile forces are engaging. I want everyone to know you don't have to stay. Anyone who wants to evacuate can take the shuttles. No shame, no judgment. But those who remain, we stand together. We protect what's right. For humanity. Cheers echoed through the station. Nobody left. They all chose to stay. Jinwoo gripped his weapon tighter. Doctor, you should go somewhere safe. Get away from level 9. No. Hana stood firm beside the energy barrier. If this is where we make our stand, then this is where I stay. The first weapons fire struck Cheonce's shields. The entire station shuddered. Alarms wailed. Mirai's voice came through, strained. Shields holding at 85%. But they won't last long against this kind of firepower. Another impact. The lights flickered. Inside the cage, the creature roared. Not in pain. In frustration. It wanted to fight. Wanted to help. But it was still too weak, still trapped behind the energy barrier. How much longer does it need? Jinwoo asked. I don't know, Hana said. Maybe hours. Maybe days. We don't have hours. A third impact rocked the station. Structural alarms joined the cacophony of warnings. Something in the upper levels had been damaged. Atmosphere was venting into space. Emergency bulkheads sealed automatically, but how many hits could they take? Deho made a decision. Mirai increased power to the creature. Take it from weapons if you have to. From shields. From everything. Sir, that's suicide. Do it. Our weapons won't stop those ships anyway. Our only chance is the Guardian. Give it everything. The energy flow increased. The creature's glow became brilliant, almost blinding. Its body began to change. Scales regenerated. Wings healed. The blind eye cleared. It was becoming what it once was. What it was always meant to be. But the station was dying around them. Another hit, another. The shields collapsed entirely. Direct hits on the hull now, explosions, fire, people screaming. Cheonce was breaking apart. In the control center, Deho gripped his console. Come on, come on. Just a little longer. Summoned station sparked. She jumped back as flames erupted. We're losing structural integrity on decks 2 through 5. Keep that energy flowing to level 9. On level 9, the creature stood. Fully healed. Magnificent. It looked at Hana one final time. Through the neural connection still lingering between them, she felt what it felt. Gratitude. Respect. And something else. Something that might have been friendship. You're ready. Hana whispered. The creature turned toward the barrier. It opened its mouth and sang. A sound that vibrated through dimensions, through the very fabric of space. The energy barrier shattered. Not from violence. From harmony. The creature had learned to match its frequency, to dissolve the prison without destroying anything else. It was free. Open the exterior doors, Hana said into her communicator. Let it out. Doctor, do it! The massive bay doors on level 9 began to open. Space and stars appeared beyond. The creature spread its wings, now fully restored to their former glory. It looked back at Hana one more time. Go, she said. Show them what you really are. The Guardian launched itself into space. The council ships saw it coming. They turned their weapons toward the creature, firing everything they had. Energy beams that could destroy battleships. Missiles that could crack moons. All of it struck the Guardian. None of it mattered. The creature flew through the weapons fire like it didn't exist. It was singing again. That dimensional sound that rewrote the rules of reality. And as it flew, it began to glow brighter and brighter, not with stolen energy, with its own power awakened after months of sleep. Inside the flagship, Ambassador Vec screamed orders. Kill it! Kill that thing now! But his weapons officers were frozen, staring at their screens, because they saw something impossible. The Guardian wasn't attacking. It was flying past the fleet. The darkness near Tau Ceti swirled and pulsed like a living thing. It had grown larger since swallowing the colony, spreading across space like a stain. Every ship that had tried to fight it was gone. Every weapon that touched it simply ceased to exist. The Council fleet had kept their distance after the first disastrous engagement, watching helplessly as the darkness expanded. Now they watched something else. The guardian they had hunted, the creature they called monster, flew straight toward the thing that terrified them all. On the bridge of his flagship, Ambassador Vec stared at the view screen. "What is it doing?" "That thing will be destroyed just like everything else." "Sir," one of his officers said quietly, "I'm detecting something. The creature is generating a field. Some kind of harmonic resonance. I've never seen readings like this before." The guardian reached the edge of the darkness and stopped. It hung in space, wings spread wide, and began to sing. The sound carried across the void, transmitted through quantum frequencies that touched every ship, every sensor, every living thing within range. It was beautiful, terrifying, ancient, a song that predated stars. The darkness recoiled. For the first time since it had broken through, it moved backward. The guardian's song was hurting it somehow, driving it back toward the breach it had come from. But the creature wasn't just singing. It was glowing, burning bright with power. The light grew more intense with each note, pushing back the darkness meter by meter. The two forces met and collided, light against void, existence against absence. Reality itself seemed to bend around them. "It's fighting it," Hana whispered on Cheonsa Station. She was watching through the station's long-range sensors. The whole crew had gathered in the control center now, watching the impossible battle unfold. Jinwoo stood beside her. "But can it win?" "I don't know. It's been weakened for so long. And that thing, it's so powerful." The guardian dove into the darkness. For a moment, they lost sight of it completely. The view screen showed only the void, consuming everything. Hana's heart stopped. Had they lost? Had the creature sacrificed itself for nothing? Then light exploded from the center of the darkness. The guardian emerged, burning like a new star. Behind it, the darkness screamed. It had a voice now, discordant and wrong, like reality tearing. The breach it had come from was visible, a wound in space that bled emptiness. The guardian flew in complex patterns, weaving light into structures that looked almost like ancient symbols. With each pattern, the breach grew smaller. The darkness fought back, reaching for the creature with tendrils of nothing, trying to consume it. Several times the tendrils came close, too close, but the guardian was faster now, stronger, dancing between attacks with grace that defied its massive size. "It's sealing the breach," Mirai said, understanding dawning. "That's what guardians do. They don't just fight these things, they seal them away." Commander Daeho nodded slowly. "How long has it been doing this? How many times has it saved the galaxy without anyone knowing?" Nobody had an answer, but they all felt the weight of that question. How many times had they called these creatures monsters while they were protecting everyone? The battle continued. Minutes became an hour. The guardian showed no signs of tiring. But the darkness wasn't weakening either. It kept pushing through the breach, trying to overwhelm the creature through sheer volume. For every meter the guardian pushed it back, it surged forward again. Then something changed. Hana felt it through the residual neural connection. The guardian was in pain, real pain. The darkness was touching it, corrupting it, leaving marks that would never heal. But the creature didn't stop. Didn't retreat. It poured more of itself into the seal, sacrificing its own essence to close the breach. "No," Hana said. "It's going to kill itself. It's going to die to save us, Doctor," Samin said urgently. "I'm picking up something. Energy readings. From the Guardian. It's broadcasting some kind of signal. Like a call. And it's getting weaker." Hana understood immediately. The Guardian was calling for help. Calling for the others, but they were scattered across the galaxy, too far to arrive in time. The creature was going to die alone, just as it had lived alone. Unless... An idea struck Hana so suddenly she gasped. "Energy. It feeds on energy. Specific frequencies. What if we could send it power? Not through cables, but broadcast." "Direct transmission across space, and that's impossible," Mirai said. "The distance is too great. The power requirements would be..." "What about the Council fleet?" Jinwoo interrupted. "They have 12 ships. Military reactors. Way more powerful than ours." Everyone turned to look at Commander Daeho. He smiled grimly. "You want me to ask the people who just tried to kill us for help?" "We want you to make them understand," Hana said. "Make them see what we see. That creature isn't their enemy. It's their protector. Always has been." Daeho took a deep breath. Then he opened a channel to the Council flagship. "Ambassador Vec, this is Commander Daeho. I know we're not on good terms right now. I know you want me arrested, but I need you to listen. Really listen." Vec's face appeared on screen, still angry. I have nothing to say to you, traitor. Then don't say anything. Just listen. That creature you wanted dead, it's dying right now to save all of us. To seal away the thing that destroyed Tau Ceti. But it needs help. It needs energy. Your ships have the power to keep it alive, to help it finish the job. Why would I help that monster? Because it's not a monster. Hana stepped forward into the camera view. Because it's been protecting the galaxy for millions of years while we hunted it. Because 4 million people are dead at Tau Ceti and more will die if we don't help. Because it's the right thing to do. Vec was silent. On his bridge, his officers were watching their own sensors, seeing the Guardian's desperate battle. Seeing it weaken. Seeing it sacrifice itself, sir. One of his officers said quietly. The creature's energy signature is dropping. If we don't do something, it will die in the next few minutes. And if it dies, another officer added, that breach won't be sealed. The darkness will spread. We'll have thousands more Tau Cetis. Ambassador Vec closed his eyes. For a long moment, nobody spoke. Then he opened his eyes and gave an order that would change everything. All ships, redirect reactor power to external transmission. Match the frequency that creature is using. Send it everything we have. Sir, his weapons officer looked shocked. You heard me. Do it now! One by one, the council ships began transmitting energy across space. Raw power flowing from their reactors across the distance to the Guardian. It was inefficient, wasteful. Most of the energy would disperse harmlessly, but enough would reach the creature. Enough to matter. On Cheonsa, Deho gave the same order. The damaged station, barely holding together, sent what little power it had left, and something unexpected happened. Other ships joined in. Civilian vessels that had been fleeing the area stopped and turned back. They added their power to the transmission. Then more ships. Word spread across communication channels. Hundreds of vessels, thousands, all sending what they could. Humans, Centaurians, beings from a dozen different species. All of them together powering the Guardian. The creature felt the energy arrive. It filled its body like water after years of drought. The pain receded. The darkness's corruption slowed. And for the first time in its long, lonely existence, the Guardian felt something it had never felt before. Connection. Support. Not alone. Its song changed. Grew stronger. More complex. The light intensified, becoming almost too bright to look at. The patterns it wove became tighter, more precise. And the breach began to close. The darkness fought desperately now, knowing it was losing. It lashed out with everything it had, trying to pull the Guardian into the void. But the creature was anchored now. Anchored by the energy, by the will, by the hope of thousands of beings who finally understood. With one final triumphant note, the Guardian completed the seal. The breach snapped shut. The darkness imploded, collapsing into itself, and was gone. Silence fell across space. The Guardian floated there, exhausted but alive. Its scales were scarred again, marked by the corruption of the darkness. The battle had cost it dearly, but it had won, and it hadn't won alone. Cheers erupted across every ship. On Cheonsa Station, people were crying and laughing and hugging each other. They had done it. Together, they had done the impossible. Hana collapsed into a chair, drained. Jinwoo sat beside her, equally exhausted. We did it, he said. We actually did it. The Guardian did it, Hana corrected gently. We just finally helped instead of hurting. On the council flagship, Ambassador Vec stared at his screens in silence. His officers were celebrating, but he just sat there, facing the truth of what they'd almost destroyed. What they'd almost lost. Finally, he opened a channel to Cheonsa. Commander Deho, Dr. Hana, I need to speak with you. The conversation that followed was difficult, painful. Vec admitted everything. The conspiracy, the mining rights, the deliberate removal of Guardians to access resources. He didn't make excuses. Didn't try to justify it. He simply told the truth. There are 6 more Guardians, he said quietly, scattered across the galaxy. All of them imprisoned or hunted. All of them alone. If more breaches occur and they're not there to seal them, then we find them, Deho said firmly. We find every Guardian. We free them. We protect them. And we make sure the galaxy knows the truth about what they really are.